I really dislike Trump starting the Evangelicals for Trump movement. It makes all of us evangelicals appear to be greedy warmongers. Even though I appreciate Trump's stand on abortion, immigration, and other issues, his warmongering is truly against the Prince of Peace. I won't be voting for Trump for this reason. Tulsi Gabbard has my vote. Those who want to truly follow me need to subscribe to my blog at gabrielchana.blog and get email alerts when I post, which is often. I make YouTube videos at least once a week. That's to do the Gail commandments, but I post at my blog almost every day or more. To truly follow me, you need to check my Gab at gab.com/gabrielchana, my BitChute video channel, and I'll have a link underneath this video to a page that I've created where you can get links to all of these places, and my Facebook page at facebook.com/your.gabrielchana. And then my YouTube and Twitter pages. I no longer engage in conversations at Twitter due to sometimes when Twitter put me for 24-hour periods in Twitter jail. And not all my videos do I post at YouTube either. In fact, I made one yesterday, which is only at BitChute and at my website. And yeah, I'm able to upload videos to my blog, and I try to not do it too often because it takes up space and I have to pay for the space, At least at YouTube, it's free to upload. So I don't but I don't post all of my videos at YouTube. Some of them are just like BitChute exclusives. And the reason I'm like this is because it appears that Melania Trump or Lori McBride have infiltrated both YouTube and Twitter with their agents, taking down truth tellers so their lies can prosper. So to follow me thoroughly, check my BitChute, Facebook, and Gab pages, as well as my YouTube channel and Twitter. In fact, you could totally ignore me at YouTube and Twitter and still be following me 100% if you check my website at gabrielchana.blog, BitChute, Facebook, and Gab. I have links at the top of every page of my website that have the most accurate news and information sources that are of interest to me, including a page that has links to my latest blog post. So check the page that I created for this video underneath this video to get all those links. At my website, I also have a page with links to my latest YouTube videos. That's why I say you could follow me totally if you just check out my blog. Despite this, I don't agree with Christianity, even though I am against Trump's warmongering. I don't agree with Christianity today about impeaching Trump for his moral shortcomings, because Trump's true sins are related to his warmongering, of which the Dems are just as guilty. What the Dems call sins are in fact virtues, and what they call virtues are in fact sins in this so-called impeachment farce. They focus on Trump's past sins, many of which he may have repented over and gotten right with God, and then they focus on what he's doing right and go after him for that. It's no wonder the impeachment's not going to get anywhere in the Senate. Now, if they went after him for war crimes, they might get some, real war crimes, not this Ukraine nonsense, but like what he's doing right now with Iran, they might get some cooperation in the Senate. I know U.S. Senator Rand Paul does not appreciate Trump's assassination of Qasem Soleimani. Now, if they tried to impeach him for his warmongering like this Qasem Soleimani assassination, I'd be the first in line to impeach him. But to impeach him because he won't cooperate with the military-industrial complex is hypocrisy of the first rank, which is basically what the impeachment farce has been up until now. As an evangelical, I've heard statistics about abortion, that this is murder and is akin to war crimes, and I tend to agree. But these same folks who support Trump because he's anti-abortion also support his war crimes. I can't believe it. He went to this Evangelicals for Trump and they were praising him for assassinating Qasem Soleimani. You aren't hearing this in the news, but between Lori McBride and Melania Trump, the death toll, that's from like 2017 to now, is probably, the murder toll is in the millions. You don't hear about it because they replaced the dead person with their evil Jesuit clone. Come on, Christians. So it's a sin to murder a baby, but it's okay to murder an adult? Don't be a hypocrite. We hear about some of the murders like that of Soleimani, but those that are secretly murdered and replaced with clones, not a peep from anybody in the news media except Gabriel Chana of Fox News. So Melania Trump and Lori McBride bomb the hell out of the world, killing and sickening people, and they create weird creatures in their mad scientist laboratories that murder, like the tweeter bird that murdered 12,000 of my Twitter followers in July 2018, and not a peep from the news. I actually saw the drop in my Twitter followers that month, and Zach Knight told me what happened. You might say, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but we don't have anyone else to vote for. Well, yeah, we do. Like, vote for Tulsi Gabbard. I'll vote for her even if she's not on the ballot. I'll write her in. Trump would be my number 2. The only way I could vote for Trump again is if Melania is totally off the scene. But right now, she's way too powerful, and Trump ain't running the country, folks. It's his Jezebel wife, Melania, who is. But do I regret that I voted for Trump in 2016? No. Perhaps I could have voted for Jill Stein, who's closer to my position. But I see Trump as part of an evolution in the American political system that will let me, as U.S. Empress, reign without hindrances. Trump was the first step, and Tulsi Gabbard's the second step. Tulsi will accomplish what Trump ran on, which is why she's attracting a lot of ex-Trump voters. I am the worst enemy the deep state has, and they have all their guns pointed at me. Trump, for all his failings, did have courage. His only sin was he couldn't get out from under his Jezebel wife, Melania. Now Tulsi can finish the job he started and was unable to do. Why didn't I vote for Jill Stein? I liked her, but I felt that Trump's courage was more likely to get the job done. He came in like a raging bull, but a tidal wave has hit him and he's down. That tidal wave is his wife, Melania. Tulsi Gabbard is riding on that wave on her surfboard and soaring past Trump in courage because she has a husband who supports her. I really like her husband. Those who want to support me as U.S. Empress and help us defeat Melania, contact my men at gailsmen@yahoo.com. Also be sure and check out my post where I actually posted a video to my website and to BitChute yesterday, where I explain how I feel that Melania has taken over the U.S. military and the United States and Israel, and that she's replaced the real Donald, I think, with an evil automaton. You're seeing an evil automaton, Trump automaton on the news now, folks. In fact, I think he's the one who killed Soleimani, or should I say Melania. I made a post about that. Check it out. I have a link for that underneath this video. Christianity today going after Trump for his sins of the flesh reminds me of when the Pharisees, which is current leftist Christianity, brought the woman taken in adultery to Jesus, and Jesus replied, "He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone." The problem was this woman was set up, and her sins were the same as the Pharisees who brought her to Jesus. In fact, I think the Pharisees were just as guilty as that adulterous woman. They had the same sins as her. They were probably sleeping with her in secret. You might say, if you're against the left, why are you voting for Tulsi Gabbard? Actually, Tulsi seems more centrist to me, more common sense. Her enemies want to put the leftist label on her to alienate any evangelicals who'd vote for her, because the evangelicals are a powerful voting bloc. You leftist Christians out there, it's not our job to run the planet. We're the salt of the earth, unless we're politicians like myself. It isn't our job to reform the political system, but it's okay to stand up to evil, though. But don't confuse standing up to evil as the same thing as reforming the world. Only Jesus Christ can carry out a truly just and thorough reform, which he will do when he sets up his 1,000-year reign after the 7-year tribulation's over. So yes, Christians, vote and be the salt of the earth. But don't let any leftist Christians who spiritualize Bible texts to make them mean what they don't mean put a guilt trip on you because you don't sponsor their social reform programs. It's our job to be salt and light in the world. The reforming of the earth only Jesus can do, and do it he will after the 7-year tribulation when Israel gets right with God. However, with Melania running the country, Trump's immigration policies haven't been carried out fairly, and he's still letting a ton of terrorists in the country. The wall's become a joke. He said Mexico would pay for it, and he's been using taxpayer money to pay for that wall, and the wall's not working. Lots of terrorists are coming into our country. He knows it. He does nothing. That's because Melania needs more terrorists in the country to shore up her base. However, not allowing abortion in the case of rape or incest is going too far, especially if the abortion happens right after conception. But I'm definitely against any abortion that happens once the baby's able to breathe on its own when it's out of the womb, like third trimester abortions. And Tulsi Gabbard opposes abortions in the third trimester unless the woman's life is in danger if she carries the baby. Though I think we're talking, but right now the problem isn't Donald Trump, it's his automaton when it comes to Iran. I also appreciate Trump's support for Israel, moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. I'm not sure how I feel about giving them the Golan Heights. The problem isn't so much the land, which I feel they deserve, but what they're doing with it. They're using the Golan Heights as a launching pad to attack Syria when Syria is at peace with them. And I suspect they're trying to get the oil fields. Israel's greedy right now. They've become obsessed with greed, and they're carrying out injustices against those who get in their way, including murdering innocents. They know Melania has their back, and it's emboldened them to do these evil things. Israel, under Melania's leadership, is a greedy bully in the Middle East, and they're trying to extend their influence worldwide. As a Christian, I'm a Zionist, but lately that term, because of Israel's bullying, has taken on negative connotations. It's causing many to hate the Jews in Israel, lumping them all into the greedy bully category. And this is going to backfire on the Jewish nation because the whole world's going to turn against them. But the Jews think, and Israel think, because the U.S. has their back under Melania, they can do whatever they want, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. But I predict that the U.S. will not always have Israel's back. And when that happens, Israel's going to be all alone because of her current bullying and greed. And then all the Bible prophecies about the entire world descending on them and persecuting them is going to happen. What's sad is there are a minority of Jews who have hearts for peace and righteousness, and they don't have a voice in Israel right now. And they're going to end up being the ones who get persecuted when the Antichrist goes after Israel in the future 7-year tribulation. So yes, we evangelicals should support Israel's right to their land, but that doesn't mean we have to support everything they do with it, especially when they behave like greedy bullies. This pact that they've made with Melania Trump and Lori McBride is a foretaste of the pact that they're going to make with the Antichrist, which will start the 7-year tribulation. They'll get peace because of this pact for 3.5 years. Then the Antichrist will violate his peace treaty with Israel. And then the whole world's going to go after them in the greatest Holocaust in all of Israel's history. The Bible predicts it. But when the Antichrist turns on the Jews, that's the time they're going to need the world's support, and will be the time when they deserve it and they won't get it, except from a persecuted minority who refuse the mark of the beast. Unfortunately, when things are going well for the Jewish nation, they tend to go into idolatry and sin. But when they're persecuted, it refines them, and the more righteous Jews shine. Israel has it better now than they've had in years, and instead of being thankful to God for this, they carry out evil acts and let an evil woman named Melania Trump, who I should nickname Jezebel, run their country. Netanyahu's like King Ahab, and Melania is like Jezebel. Of course, we might be dealing with a Netanyahu evil clone. I don't know. The best thing to do is to accept Jesus, Jew or Gentile, and then you won't have to go into the tribulation. So this is my take on what's going on with Israel and Iran and Trump. And be sure and check the page that I created about this underneath my video. And if you really want to keep up with me, like I said, check out my blog, gabrielchana.blog. I post there very often. That's the #1 way to keep up with me.